remember to water those potted plants. Morning, good afternoon, good day, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. It's another fine, glorious day here in eastern North Carolina. And today I'm going to be planting up, I think it's 3, maybe 4 clematis vines that I have. I bought them way back in April. It took the vendor, I just got them the other day, so what are we, June now? It took them 2 months, April, May, June, 3 months? 3 months to get me my clematis. So that vendor I won't be purchasing from ever again, because there's other vendors who, when I order something from, despite rain, sleet, snow, demand, they get me my product in a reasonable amount of time and give me good communication to boot. So if it's going to be late, they email me and say, hey, we're going to be late, unlike this other vendor who I purchased the clematis vine from. Today I'm going to be, so you may have noticed in previous videos this mound of dirt right here, and that was put into place in preparation of getting those clematis vines, which I've just gotten. So it's been sitting here for 3 months. So I'm going to be planting up the vines. I'll take you along for the trip. I'll show you how I'm doing it. I'll show you where I'm going to put them. And if you're curious, we're going to put the first one right here. Well, if you're facing the vegetable garden, it's going to be on the left-hand side of the gate. We're going to put the first one here on the left-hand side of the gate. And I'll go over each one of them. And yeah, so let's get moving. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is going to be called Diana's Delight. I'll post a picture up of what the flower looks like here. Plant in sun to partial sun. Vines 6 foot long, approximately. Shade roots. So it's always important when you plant clematis to keep the roots pretty shaded. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this guy out. Oh dear. You can see some of the roots have started really thick. I'm going to tease some of them apart. I don't really want to break these, as it were, because they're so thick. Alright, get that there. Untangle some of these vines here. And what I'm going to do is start to weave it into the fence, because that's the whole point, is that I'm going to have the vine grow up the fence here. Cover that back up, tuck that in. And then we mulch it. Now you may have noticed when I did that other vine, when I did the first vine, that it was in a mound. And as I stated before, I have heavy clay soil, and the water tends to sit on the ground after a good hard downpour, which means anything that I tried to plant inside the ground, or at ground level as it were, is going to be sitting in a bowl of water for a while. So what that means is I can turn around and I could dig out a hole, and I could fill it with some good soil, and I could put the clematis in there. And we get a downpour, and sure, all the water would drain through the good soil, but then it would stop at the clay soil. So essentially the clay soil would act as a bowl, and that would fill up with water, and then the clematis is swimming, and it's up in a mound. It'll free drain. Eventually all the worms and whatnot that are in the current ground soil, well, because there are worms and other critters within the current ground soil, they'll come up and they'll start intermingling with the good soil, and they'll pull it down, and that mound will shrink. So the good soil that I've mounded on top will incorporate into the soil below eventually, and you know, again, then you'll have a larger, more free draining space. So as I usually plant out shrubs or bushes or whatever, I typically elevate them above ground level. This way I don't have to worry about the plants sitting in a giant bowl of water. That being said, I have 2 more clematis to plant, and I thought to myself, where in the world am I going to plant 2 more clematis? I could do it along some of the fence line I have, then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I have an arbor. This seems like a perfectly good place to grow a vine. So what we're going to do is we'll plant one on one side, the other on the other side. Theoretically, they'll both grow up and they'll meet towards the top. We'll have two different shades, two different colors. Let me tell you about the varieties I've got. One is passion flower clematis. I believe I've had this before. It's a fairly slow growing vine, and this vine looks a little on the side, but give it a little TLC, a little fertilizer, life should be good. This is a variety I've never grown before for sure, and this is called chocolate vine. I believe the flowers are a little chocolatey in color. If not, I'll post a picture of it here. So, chocolate vine. So I'm going to plant them both up. I'll do the same method where I put the cardboard down on the ground, pile the good dirt on top, put these guys in there, water, cover everything with mulch, and hopefully by next year, the trellis is covered. It definitely won't happen this year, I don't think, but you never know. Plant and see what grows. So as you can see, I have one clematis here, I have one clematis here, I have one by the gate. Mulched all of them thickly because clematis, like many vines, like cool feet. I think there's some sort of old stupid saying about face in the sun, feet in the shade, something along those lines. What do I know? I'm still trying to grow my green finger. If you want to find out what the clematis will look like throughout the remainder of this year and next year, hit that subscribe button. Click the bell icon to be notified when I do post up a new video. If you don't follow me on Instagram, why not? I often post up pictures there that you won't see here on YouTube. If you want, you can help support the channel by buying a shirt. Links below. If you don't like the shirt, maybe you want the logo on a mug, stainless steel tumbler. Maybe a hoodie if you live in like Alaska or something like that. Be sure to go check out the links below for the merch. And I think we're going to wrap it up for today. The sun's starting to cook my brain. It's getting warm out. Tomorrow's going to be worse, and I got to mow the lawn tomorrow. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.